Hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and I have my lovely co-host, I Chill. Hey, boo.
What's up?
Yes, today is Thursday, May 29th. And before we get started, I wanted to give a quick reminder, and I'm gonna keep reminding y'all until I get some emails because I haven't gotten any email. Now, this is free promotion. I'm trying to give you F words. Let me stop. But no, seriously, y'all, if you are part of the LGBTQ community and you have something going on, whether that be a book, a new song, a single, a mixtape, whatever you have going on, please email us at auntie@auntiederek.com. Tell us about it with a quick bio about yourself, and we want to talk about you during Pride Month. And Pride Month is right around the corner, literally next week. So please send those emails.
Yeah,
So, what'd you say, Boo?
I say yes. We want to feature people from the community. So hit those emails and
Please
let
do.
us
And
know.
again, our email is auntie@auntiederek.com. So, we're going to get started with the May Mayhem, what Chill suggested, where we give some honor to people who make good trouble in society. Today, we're going to do just that, honoring a trans icon on her birthday.
Okay.
Yes, honey. So, we're going to talk about Laverne Cox,
Yes.
whom I absolutely adore. When I tell you I love me some Laverne, so I just shared this link from womenshistory.org that gives a really nice bio about her. And it says, Laverne Cox was born on May 29th of 1972. So happy birthday, Queen, and happy birthday to your twin brother as well. Assigned male at birth, she grew up in Mobile, Alabama with her mother and twin brother. Cox never knew her father. Her mother was a teacher and as a single parent focused her energies on raising her two children. As a child, Cox described herself as very creative and and credited her creativity with sustaining her. She dreamed of being on the stage. She loves to dance and began taking classes and performing in recitals and talent shows in the third grade. Cox's mother allowed her to take tap and jazz classes, but not ballet, fearing it was too feminine for a young boy. We were just talking about homophobia and the dangers of it. So, anyway, Cox began to feel ashamed and fearful in her inclination towards femininity due to harsh comments from adults, bullying and harassment from peers, and messages she was hearing at the church. Cox feared she was disappointing her grandmother, who had passed away. Finding that idea horrifying, Cox attempted suicide at the age of 11. Cox received a scholarship to study at the Alabama School of Fine Arts in Birmingham for high school. While there as a boarder, Cox began to embrace androgyny. She then earned a dance scholarship to attend Indiana University, where she arrived as a gender nonconforming freshman. After 2 years at Indiana, Cox transferred to Marymount Manhattan College and graduated with a BA in Fine Arts and Dance. These early years in New York were formative for Cox. While at Marymount, she caught the acting bug. Cox participated in plays at Marymount's theater department, as well as a student-directed film. She also transitioned from being gender nonconforming to being more and more femme. Cox recalled in an interview that while in New York City, she saw other transgender women who changed her outlook and challenged her misconceptions, including her belief that transgender people could not be successful. While at Marymount, Cox began her medical transition and began living and identifying as female. After graduation, Cox knew she wanted to continue performing. She tried for years to be an actress. By 2007, Cox had done several and independent films, off Broadway shows, and had began auditioning for professional acting gigs. She mostly auditioned for and got roles for transgender characters. After seeing the 2007 premiere of the soap opera Dirty Sexy Money, in which Candace Cain became the first openly transgender actor to have a recurring role on primetime TV, Cox realized that she could be openly trans and have a successful career. She made postcards with her photo and the statement, Laverne Cox is the answer to all your acting needs. She sent the postcard to about 500 agents and casting directors, and it led to 4 meetings. Cox appeared on 2 episodes of Law and Order, a pilot for HBO, uh, a reality show, and produced and starred in her first show on VH1, Transforming. In 2012, she booked her breakout role on the show Orange is the New Black. Cox's role as Sophia Bursett on Orange is the New Black catapulted her to fame. Time magazine named her the most dynamic transgender character in history. In 2014, Cox became both the first openly transgender person to be nominated for an Emmy Award for her role in Orange is the New Black and the first openly transgender person to appear on the cover of Time in June. When asked what these two milestones meant, Cox said, "I was told many times that I wouldn't be able to have a mainstream career as an actor because I'm trans, because I'm black, and here I am. And it feels really good." Of the Emmy nomination, Cox said it was just as important to her as an actress as it was to her as an activist, arguing that the transgender community deserved the opportunity to turn on the TV and see themselves. Since her role on Orange is the New Black, Cox has appeared on many magazine covers and received numerous acting awards and nominations. Her other recent acting credits include Promising Young Woman and Inventing Anna. In 2015, Cox returned to Indiana University to speak about her experiences as a member of the transgender community with a speech titled Ain't I a Woman, echoing the speech of the same title given by activist Sojourner Truth in 1851. In the speech, Cox told her audience to have difficult conversations to educate others and combat misconceptions about the transgender community. She hopes that through these conversations, people can understand not everybody who is born feels that their gender identity is in alignment to what they're assigned with, where they're assigned at birth. If someone needs to express their gender in a way that is different, that's okay. It's what people need to understand that it's okay that if you're uncomfortable with it, then you need to look at yourself. And then she just did that show on Amazon Prime, and I cannot think of the title right now, and I feel like such a bad ally. But she did it with George Wallace, and George Wallace played her father in the show. I have not watched. Y'all don't beat me up. I know I deserve that beating, but I heard it was a funny show, and it's on my watch list. I just haven't streamed it yet, so I am truly sorry. But happy birthday to Laverne Cox and to her twin brother. And we wish you both many, 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 many more birthdays. And thank you so much for your contributions, Laverne. Especially what I think she did, especially with her role in Orange is the New Black. She just kind of she started those conversations like, okay, because her remember her character was a trans woman who had her wife, who had children. Clean Slate was the show. Thank you, Hammock. Thank you so much. Clean Slate. And I will watch. I will stream it. I will get to it eventually. But yeah, but I love that the conversation. Because people assume that trans people are like gay, and a lot of them aren't. Like Caitlyn Jenner's big footed ass, honey. She I guess she considers her ass a lesbian. Now, I can't stand that big footed bitch. But anyway, we're talking about Laverne, not that old heifer Caitlyn. So happy birthday, Laverne. Somebody say turkey neck hoe. Exactly. Well, does anybody have anything they want to add about Laverne before we get started with our tea? Had to switch back and laugh Bigfoot. Yes, honey, with her big footed ass. I do not like Caitlyn Jenner. To hell with a Caitlyn Jenner. And I will not be talking about her during Pride Month.
Oh no, definitely not.
Well, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
It's tea time.
Yes. So we're gonna do what we always do. Start with the Diddy live updates in the trial, and we're just gonna go straight to CNN today. Just like Happy said, I need to get that people link working her because people need to get it together. Oh, she says thank you for featuring Laverne Cox. Yes, honey. I'm a Laverne stan, honey. Anyway, so Diddy. So let's catch up. What we looked at yesterday. Let me just go back to because they had a good summary that I read earlier. Let me just get that really quickly. Okay, so here's what we learned yesterday. So it says both the LAPD and the LA Fire Department investigated the Kid Cudi incidents. Says Scott Muscudi, also known as rapper Kid Cudi, testified last week that his house was broken into and his porch was set on fire after Combs learned Muscudi was dating Ventura. And on Wednesday, The Los Angeles Fire Department and the Los Angeles Police Department officers gave further details about the investigations into those incidents. Combs denied his involvement in the arson. Muscudi previously testified, and no one was directly charged for the incident. An alleged arson was mentioned in the federal indictment against Combs in connection to the racketeering charge. We know that the judge denied their request for a mistrial. It says Judge Subramian denied a request from Combs' defense for a mistrial after the prosecution asked the witness about the destruction of fingerprint evidence. And Chill, I think you had questions about that yesterday also. Um, the request came after the LA Fire Department arson investigator Lance Jimenez. Did I say his name right today? Lance
No,
Jimenez. Oh,
Jimenez.
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 So Lance Jimenez testified that fingerprints were Jimenez. I'm gonna get it right one day, damn it. Jimenez testified that fingerprints were found in Muscuti's home in December of 2011 after the trespassing incident. And then we learned of Deontay Nash, or celebrity stylist. He did not want to show up, but he had to because he was subpoenaed. We learned that yesterday. And he's actually still on trial today, or was rather. It says celebrity stylist Deontay Nash testified that he witnessed Combs make threats about Cassie Ventura's music career and threats to release sexually explicit videos of Ventura to people, including her parents, employers. He recalled 2 incidents where the stylist witnessed Combs be violent towards Ventura. In one instance, Combs hit and kicked Ventura until she hit her head and started bleeding. Okay, so that was all the updates from yesterday. So let's go today, what we learned from today. Let's see. Says the jury's on a short break. This was about an hour and a half ago. The jury's on a short break. Here's a recap of what has happened so far. Deontay Nash, a stylist who worked for Combs and was a friend to Cassie Ventura, took the stand again, where cross-examination continued. He testified about his understanding of Ventura and Combs' relationship, a time where Ventura was upset Combs' relationship with other women hurt her own career, that despite being close friends, Ventura didn't tell Nash that Combs had her videos of her with other men. During cross-examination, the defense said Nash's testimony on the stand didn't match what he told prosecutors before the trial. Nash has testified several times he didn't expand on many things with prosecutors during the pretrial interviews and never wanted to be involved in the case. And remember, Nash said he was subpoenaed to testify yesterday. Mia, one of Combs' former assistants, testifying under a pseudonym. Before the jury arrived, the judge denied a request from prosecutors to cut the video feed to the overflow courtroom for the duration of Mia's testimony to protect Mia's anonymity. But the judge said anyone in an overflow room would be in the main courtroom if there was sufficient space, so the video feed will stay on. A photo of Mia's passport bearing her true name and her date of birth was submitted into evidence under seal for only the jury to view. Excuse me. A chaotic and toxic work environment. Mia testified that she worked for Combs in 2 roles: personal assistant and director of development and acquisitions for Revolt Films, describing her work environment with Combs as chaotic and toxic. During her first 24 hours on the job, Mia testified that she didn't sleep, which turned out to be her new normal. Mia testified at one point she was his only personal assistant for about a year and it was difficult. Mia testified about several ways in which Combs was violent with her. He's thrown things at me. He's thrown me against the wall. He's thrown me into a pool. He's thrown an ice bucket on my head, the former assistant said. Mia added Combs also sexually assaulted her on more than one occasion. And it says the jury saw a list of Mia shared with another employee. The jury saw a list that Mia shared with another employee in 2011 outlining her job responsibilities, written after Combs, who she referred to as PD, made a threatening comment questioning what she did all day. Some of the list items included maintaining PD's daily routine in both professional and private circles from the minute he wakes up in the morning until the moment he falls asleep at night, and anticipating his needs, whims, and moods. Mia said she'd get in big trouble if he left Combs' homes without his permission. Hmm. Wait, so is Mia? I guess maybe they just made a mistake. If she left his home without permission, I was gonna say Mia's not a man. They kept saying her. Okay, so yeah, so we know about Mia, this new assistant who decided to only testify under a pseudonym. We don't know who the identity of this person, but so far we know that they've alleged that Diddy was violent towards them. It was a very toxic work environment, and Mia had to pretty much focus on Sean Diddy, who's known as PD. What do y'all think PD stands for?
Uh, uh, Pure destruction.
Hello,
I noticed that
or
little yesterday though that the Cadillac Escalade that cops saw leaving the scene when he was driving up, they did run the plates on that, and it was registered to Bad Boy.
oh, they
Yeah,
did, huh?
yeah, I saw that in a sort of little write up I was reading yesterday. That yeah, it came back to P Diddy, well, Bad Boy Records or whatever that company was.
Oh, duh, Derek. PD stands for P Diddy. Duh, he hasn't been P Diddy or Puff Daddy for so long that I absolutely forgot his name. I should
Oh,
be ashamed of myself.
that was a real question.
Yeah, it was because I was like, what did
I
PD
thought you was being funny.
Duh. I'm sorry, y'all. I had a blind moment. And then he says, Hammy says, perverted dumbass. Okay. And it seems like his staff calls him Puff. Yep. Oh, y'all thought I was being funny. No, I was dead serious when they say I had
Yeah, I thought.
a slight brain fart. And I'm a
Yeah,
millennial, honey. I should be ashamed of myself.
you should. I thought you was being funny.
Okay, so let's see what's the next update. Um okay, so it goes on. So Mia's continued her testifying. It says she went through a cycle of high and lows. Mia testified that when she saw Cassie Ventura and Combs together all the time when she was working, describing their relationship as unequal and toxic and a cycle of highs and lows, adding Combs was abusive towards her. Uh, Combs' seal of approval. Mia testified that Combs was in charge of Ventura's music career and always made the final decision as it pertained to how she wore her hair, how her nails looked, outfits, what music she released, when she be in the studio, visual aspects of music videos, her appearance, and any shows or appearance she'd be involved in. Mia said she was privy to a lot of things going on in the Combs label business because people would contact her to get answers from Combs. Um, Unpredictable punishments. I don't like how that sounds. Combs dictated how much time and when Mia could spend it with Ventura, who she described as a sister and a best friend. The former assistant testified. Usually, it was motivated by Combs' desire to keep tabs on Ventura. She testified. When they did something without Combs' permission, Mia said something bad, very scary would happen. Punishment was typically unpredictable, but typically pretty terrifying, she testified, adding at times that meant Combs took away her car, which he had his companies paid for, or her jewelry, Mia said. If Ventura wouldn't answer the phone calls from Combs, security would show up. Security would show up, Mia testified, and there were signs of violence. The former assistant said she saw Combs attack Ventura, throw her on the ground, chase her, and crack her head open, quote unquote, and never saw Ventura fight back. Mia described one instance where she felt like she, Ventura, and celebrity stylist Deontay Nash, who testified earlier, were in real danger based on Combs' violent behavior towards the three of them. She said, remember, Nash also described the same incident yesterday on the stand. In another instance, Mia testified about a party at Prince's house where she witnessed Combs attack Ventura after the pair snuck out of a hotel he told her to stay at. And remember, this is the same party Mila Morales, Combs and Ventura's former makeup artist, testified about previously, saying Ventura suffered a swollen eye, a busted lip, and knots on her head. So yeah, these all these witnesses are tying things together. It seems. Let me look at the comments. without knowing all this. Think about how many people signed up to work for PD. Making the band alone attracted hundreds. Just Jeff made it as far as last week. I'm glad he got cut now. And even back then, like as popular as Diddy was, and maybe because I knew I was always reading the magazines and stuff like that. Anytime somebody like signed with Bad Boy, I always had like, social media wasn't popular back then, so I was just running my mouth to anybody who would hear me. And like my people at my mom's hair salon, I'm like, why would they want to sign with Bad Boy? Diddy scams his artists allegedly. Like he's been doing it since before Cash Money took over for the 99 and 2000s. Like anyway, I just never understood like how artists willingly when MTV was the platform. I guess. So, and let me see. That looks like that was all the catch up. Let me see if there's any more. Let me refresh my page. Mm-mm. Okay, just one more update. It says prosecutors hope to get through Mia's testimony by tomorrow. So yeah, but it looks like she's still on the stand. It says the prosecution said they'd like to get Mia off the stand by the end of tomorrow, so she doesn't have to come back next week. Prosecutor Madison Smizer said that her direct examination will likely take the rest of the day. After some back and forth about making sure that they have enough time to accomplish that, Judge Arun Subramanian said he'll keep the jury until 4 p.m. Eastern time today and may keep them late tomorrow too, if necessary. Okay, so they intend to use all of Mia and all of Mia's testimony. All right, so it looks like that's but no different from the awful wine scene where yeah. You are absolutely right. Well, people willingly work with abusers, honey. Look, I was just talking about the other day how LA always shows love to their favorite abuser, Dr. Dre, honey, who put a mural of his face, honey, and put his face on the side of that skull. Like, girl, anyway. So that's it for the Diddy live updates today. So we will definitely keep you updated tomorrow. Because I suppose they'll be back in court tomorrow, and the judge said he'll keep the jury late if he has to get through all of Mia's testimony. So, does anyone want to add anything before we go to the next story? As soon as I learned what he did to Miss Chalet, I gave away all my Beats devices. You and me both, girl. I had a pair of the Beats headphones, and there's even a no hate photo of me when they came to Durham, and I had my hair dyed blonde, and I had the pair of Beats on in that photo, baby. Now I act like that picture don't even exist, cause and the only reason I got them shits, them overpriced, overrated ass shits, was because Khalees had on a pair in her 4th of July video. That was literally the only reason I got that pair of Beats. So to me, the Beats brand means beating women. That's exactly what it means, girl. Or Dre beating Miss Chalet. Yep, Miss Chalet or D Barnes. Well, speaking of more Diddy news, honey. Well, Diddy adjacent news rather. So, do y'all remember a one of Diddy's ex bodyguards by the name of Gene Deal? He was the one that was pretty much like very vocal about like him working for Diddy and how he didn't approve of like a lot of stuff Diddy was doing. Well, he was actually told he was fighting outside of the courthouse. He fought a YouTuber by the name of D Night. Well, it wasn't really a fight. He allegedly knocked that boy out, and he was told to not come back to the courthouse for at least a week. So look, y'all better watch your mouths out here, honey. There's some people that do not play and they not talkers, honey. So I just shared a link from All Hip Hop here on slide 4. Diddy's ex bodyguard Gene Deal allegedly knocks out YouTuber outside courthouse. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch a video really quick of it looks like somebody by the name of Secret Service Sam, who's I guess popular on TikTok. He's talking about it. So let's see what he has to say.
Secret Service Sam here, just stepping out of the court building for a moment. We had a 10-minute recess. Here is something that not a lot of people are talking about. Gene Deal was here at the court building. I interviewed him in the elevator, and then shortly after that, he got into an altercation with a YouTuber, a friend of mine now who I know, called D Knot. D Knot was harassing him the day before, calling him all these names, calling him Uncle Phil. There's a video you can see, and apparently he punched out and knocked out D Knot yesterday to the point where they told Gene Deal not to come back for a few days. No arrests were made or anything, but I don't know. And I just saw D Knot a little bit ago trying to get into the main courtroom, and I think he was in the overflow. So I got to go talk to him. Maybe I'll get an interview for you guys, but I just wanted to drop that on you. Gene Deal knocked out YouTuber did not. Okay, there was an altercation, and like I said, I don't know whose fault it was. No arrests were made, but Gene was asked to take a couple days off from the case. So that's a little drama. I got more coming to you with the arsonist today. Please follow my YouTube. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
You can't. I'm not the type of dude that you can come up on like.
Bro, listen. We out here to get content. You're not gonna tell me what to do.
You can't come up on me,
bro. Listen.
If you come up on me, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
That's what I said.
That's what I said. No, bro, shit. I said I'm a bitch. You gonna misgender me now? Now it's fucking anti-Asian because I'm Asian. So now you harassing me. I'm protected by anti-Asian hate crime.
Go down the road then.
Baby, I have to say, that is exactly why I love New York. now, first of all, watch your mouth. You can't talk to certain people a certain way, especially not these old heads. These old heads do things a lot different what these new kids do today, and they are they are not shy about using their hands. And two, that lady at the end, she said, "No, bro, my ass. What, you gonna misgender me now? What, you anti-Asian now?" But yeah, y'all stop playing with people. Stop playing. But that is, baby, that's New York in a nutshell, honey. That's why I will forever love that old stinking ass, expensive ass theater. Well, does anybody want to add anything?
You'll see, I tell you.
Mm-hmm. Especially on a train, honey. People be scared, talking about they scared to ride a train. I'm like, honey, you just don't know that is the best. I was about to say best free entertainment, but it does cost what, $275 to get on the train. But that's some of the best cheap entertainment you have ever seen in life, honey. Well, that's that on him. Does anybody want to add anything about Gene or D Knot? I haven't heard of I've never heard of D Knot.
Me neither.
They say fine niggas be on them trains too. Well, honey, depends on where you go. Cause certain trains, honey, you know it ain't gonna be no fine niggas, honey. Like maybe the C train going down to Brooklyn. Let me stop. Oh, well, y'all. So allegedly, those, because remember we previously talked about people who were standing outside of the courtroom holding Free Diddy t-shirts and stuff. Or wearing Free Diddy t-shirts and having signs and protesting and shit. But we learned that they were allegedly getting paid $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Now it turns out, honey, the job posting was on Craigslist.
Oh my God.
Yes, honey.
Oh my God.
So I just shared this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Y'all see where it says Free Diddy supporters outside of his trial were allegedly hired off Craigslist. So the group of protesters voicing their support for Diddy outside of his criminal trial were, when it kicked off early this month, allegedly found the gig through someone on Craigslist. According to Ill Seed from All Hip Hop, the people each allegedly made $20 an hour to wear shirts that had slogans in support of the bad boy mogul. Ill Seed writes, so how did it all fall apart? After the Craigslist ads went up, I was told the info ended up in a WhatsApp group. Or is that Signal? Either way, you get what I'm saying. From there, it spread like wildfire. One of the people in that group, a mental health patient, told their therapist. The mental health specialist told someone else who told another person, and eventually it got to me. While the protesters may have allegedly been paid to wear Free Diddy t-shirts, 50 Cent has been promoting the shirt for free. Earlier this week, he shared that an edited photo of himself attended the Indiana Pacers games against the New York Knicks, in which he changed his shirt to display the slogan. So, but we that's no surprise. We know he any opportunity he's going to take to be a jackass, he's going to take it. But yeah, so that's how it started. It started on Craigslist. Then from there, it ended up on WhatsApp or Signal. Then a mental health patient had told their therapist about it. Their therapist told someone else, and now it ended up on All Hip Hop. And now we're talking about it here. So if I would have saw that shit on Craigslist, y'all, I would have reported that shit.
That is crazy.
Oh, child. Well, does any?
I guess if you need $20 to eat, I can't be mad at the people that would do it, but yeah, that's kind of wild.
Mm-hmm. Is it a one-time payment? That's a good question. And is it hourly? Like I have questions, honey. I want to see the ad. I wish this article had the ad in it.
I think
Or
she
like
said it was $20 an hour to wear.
Mhm.
For one time, come on. I wouldn't stand outside of nowhere for $20 one time. Yeah, I think she said it was 20 an hour.
Yeah, and then like, do you is there a way you can be like on a payroll? Like, do you have shifts? Is it like one person does it between 1 and 5 this day, the other person does it on between 8 and 12 on Friday? Like, I don't, but whatever. That's the Trump playbook to wear that MAGA stuff. Oh, you better wake that up, Happy. Wake it up.
They've been saying that about him, that a lot of people are paid to go to his rallies, especially those black people you see back there, the blacks for Trump. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they pay them.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like maybe in the near future, and I hate to put this out there in the universe, but it looks like maybe that budget that they have to pay those people, they might be able to save a little bit because it looks like people are going to be willing to do it for free. Maybe a really small percentage of stupid ass black people. I just bring that up because I just shared this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Hey, favorite tourists. You see where it says Donald Trump officially pardons NBA YoungBoy and commutes Larry Hoover sentence, child. Donald Trump is definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but he's making lots of folks happy yesterday. Thanks to a tweet from Pat Ward, senior White House editorial producer, he shared that NBA YoungBoy is officially pardoned among a laundry list of other folks. A White House official also announced that the President of the United States signed off on a commutation of Larry Hoover's sentence of 6 life terms. Let's start with NBA YoungBoy, though, who was released from prison earlier than expected. He was initially slated to be out in April. However, with the Louisiana native displaying good behavior and etc., he got out in late March. The prolific MC was hit with a pretty hefty sentence stemming from fraud charges. But he has been back with family, and he seems to be back at his Utah mansion with lots of security as well. Overall, this is great news for NBA YoungBoy fans, especially since he got his first headlining tour coming up very soon. Ironically, he's shouting out Donald Trump a bit with the name of it. The MASA Master Tour, which stands for Make America Slime Again, is kicking off on September 2nd in Dallas. He will be hitting up 27 cities overall, and it will run through October 19th. That day, he will be going back home to and performing in New Orleans. Now, who is Larry Hoover? Let's shift our focus on another notable name on Donald Trump's list, Larry Hoover. This name may sound familiar to some, but in case you don't know who he is, here's some information. Hoover was a Chicago street gang leader and co-founded the Gangster Disciples. In 1997, he was convicted of federal charges on top of the 200-year sentence he was serving for the 1973 murder of 19-year-old neighborhood drug dealer William Pookie Young. Per CBS Chicago, the final total was 6 life terms. Federal prosecutors accused him of leading a criminal enterprise so that he could still run the gang while in prison in Illinois. He has been in a maximum security prison in Colorado, and it's unclear what his reduced sentence will be. So, where NBA YoungBoy was pardoned, Larry Hoover was commuted. So, from what I understand, his federal charges are now gone, but he still got a whole bunch of state charges he got to deal with, which is like what a 200-year sentence. So Yeah, that's that on that, honey. So the playbook, just they all following the same playbook, and they pretty much. I don't know. Admittedly, I don't know much about Larry Hoover personally. My only knowledge of him is stuff I like learned on my own, and after I looked him up, after Rick Ross said his name in the BMF song. But from what I understand, like he did some. Now he was good for the community, but he did some wild shit from what I understand. But now I actually saw earlier this morning on Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa, she interviewed his son. And his son was pretty much talking about like, they're not celebrating right now because what they still have a lot of work to do in regards because they're not trying to get his state sentence like dismissed, but they are trying to get it reduced because they feel that all the time that he has to serve is a bit much. Especially they said he did his crime when he was in his early 20s, when he was like 22 years old, and now he's an elder. So I guess
He been in
I
jail long enough, is what they're
yeah,
saying.
that's what they're saying.
Well, I don't disagree, Auntie. I mean, how what did he go to prison for? Before I get started,
That from what I understand, it was that killing that boy when he was 19 years old.
so he killed somebody when he was 19. How old is he now?
Ooh, good question. Let me Google this.
They say he's an elder. I mean,
Mhm.
I gotta assume he's been in jail at least what 40, 50 years. I mean, how many years does it take to atone for a murder? There are some murderers who are not sentenced to life forever.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're 19, you've been in prison 40, 50 years. I mean, isn't that enough time or not?
Ah,
How you
I,
feel about
I, I'm, I'm just trying to, because I'm trying to put myself in the victims, like in his family's point of view, because I don't know, maybe they may feel that it's not enough to, I don't. That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, okay, so I'm imagining someone in my family gets murdered by a 19-year-old. If they've been in prison 40 or 50 years, I maybe I have a soft heart. I don't know. I would feel like personally they've served their time, they've paid their debt to society. That's a lot of years to give of your life, and yes, it's a serious crime, but I wouldn't want that person to stay in prison until they die. That's just me, but that's kind of how I feel about it. What you got to say about it, Will? I'm so sorry, baby. Your
Well,
mic is doing the turkey jerky.
somebody said you in a gunfight, Will. Oh,
No,
yep, still the same. I'm sorry.
and I sure wanted to hear what you had to say about it too.
Me too. Yes.
No,
Sorry, I had to mute you, honey. It was not coming through. Well, yeah,
I
but
mean, I,
and I think somebody made a really good point when they were talking about this earlier. They said that what they think that Trump is doing is actually setting the stage for him to pardon Derek Chauvin
but he
after
can't.
he get. Oh, he
It's not.
can't.
No, he has state charges too.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, now I didn't know
Yeah,
that part.
yeah, he can't. Even if he had Fed charges and he pardoned that part, he does have state charges too, and that's what I remember reading about the item that you know people are asking him to pardon Derek, but no, that's not gonna work. Try again, Will. Come on. No, baby. No, no.
Yep. Sorry, honey, it's not coming through.
Damn. Yeah, so Derek will be in jail too, just like Larry Hoover. And you're right. The only time I ever heard his name was in Rick Ross song.
Yep. Well, hopefully, we will. Unfortunately, our favorite tourist is having some technical difficulties, but hopefully, we'll get it together and y'all can hear because I wanted to hear what he had to say.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He gives
Oh,
good content.
well, we'll revisit it when he comes back. But the next story, so Ti is actually suing someone for defamation.
Oh, they suing somebody else. Okay.
Yes, honey. So I just shared this week from All Hip Hop. You see where it says Ti defamation showdown with Sabrina Peterson set with stipulation. So Ti and Sabrina Peterson are officially headed to court in Los Angeles after a judge locked in a trial date in the rapper's defamation case stemming from a years-long legal feud. The hip hop artist filed a lawsuit against Peterson in December of 2024, accusing her of spreading false and damaging claims online, including an allegation that he was under federal investigation for sex trafficking. The case marks the latest chapter in a legal back and forth that had began in 2021 when when Peterson sued T.I. and his wife, Tamika Tiny Harris, for defamation, invasion of privacy, and emotional distress. Peterson's original lawsuit alleged that T.I. pointed a gun at her and that the couple attempted to smear her publicly after she spoke out. However, 5 of her 7 claims were tossed by a judge in June of 2023. Only the defamation and invasion of privacy claims remained. After failing to pay nearly $100,000 in court-ordered legal fees to T.I. and Tiny, Peterson asked the court for a payment plan of $1,000 per month, citing financial hardship. But by March of 2025, her case was dismissed without prejudice due to inactivity and non-payment. The contempt charge tied her to unpaid fees was also dropped once the case was closed. With Peterson claims out of the way, T.I. launched his own legal action, alleging Peterson's Instagram post damaged his reputation and invaded his privacy. Before the trial can begin, both parties must attend a settlement conference with a private mediator. The court has mandated that this meeting occur no later than Monday, November 24th of 2025. The case will not proceed to trial if either party fails to appear in person. The trial is scheduled to begin Tuesday, June 9th of 2026 at 9 a.m. So, woo child. So, yep, this is about to be a crazy, crazy battle. So, yay, favorite Taurus.
How about now?
Oh,
Yay.
yay.
Oh my fucking god! I gotta restart my computer to use this shit. This is wild. Anyway, as I was stating, what I wanted to say to Joe's point about Larry Hoover, I think it's really. hmm, I'm not sure what good it would do for him to really be out of prison, if I'm being honest, because the term that it would require him to kind of readjust to the changes that have happened in society up until that point from however many years ago,
Yeah,
it might drive him crazy to the point that he would prefer to be back incarcerated, which we've seen on multiple instances, you know.
that's true. That is true. They can't make it out there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure from like the standpoint of the families of the victims, I think that would be an additional added stressor as well. So it's like I kind of understand it being seen as like a victory. At the same time, I'm like, he might be better just sitting down until he transitions from this plane, if you will.
So you think that if you've been in prison that long, 40, 50 years, because there's people in there serving those kinds of sentences who eventually will get out, um, that just based on the fact that things have changed so much, I guess, I guess you would have to have a really strong support system when you came
Mm-hmm.
out. If you've been in prison for that long, someone to hold you down for a few years, not even months, but a few years till you get your bearings and catch up, and a lot of people don't have that kind of support system, but a lot of prisoners do. So I don't I'm torn. I think 40, 50 years is a lot to serve, and even for murder, I just think that's enough time to, you know, have penance for your crime.
Mhm.
Now,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
when you're talking about course, serial killers and people who kill multiple people, that kind of thing, no. But someone who committed a single murder when they were 19, or even if they were with someone who committed murder, because you're held accountable for the same crime, just in, the wrong place at the wrong time. I just think that's enough time, in my opinion.
Like you bring up a very valid point. I also think of like the state of news now. Everything moves so fucking quickly, you know. So he might be, even hypothetically, if he did get out, he would still be a year behind everyone else. It's, and plus, like what was it, like these prisons were quote unquote made to rehabilitate criminals. We know that's not going to happen. So he's
Mhm.
like 20 steps behind the 8 ball before he even gets out. So a life for life is it's better than the alternative, because I know many state. I'm not sure if he's in a state that has the death penalty, but I definitely believe, like, you know what, he needs to sit.
I'm kind of like agreeing with, only because to me personally, like murder, like once you cross the line, and if it's for any reason other than self defense, like that's just like a really really, to me, a hard line to cross. Once you cross that line, like I feel like there's a chance for you to do it again. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just mm-mm. Taking someone's life is like it's a really really big thing to me. I just and then to learn that like he allegedly was running a criminal, still running the gang while he was in jail, like most of them do, but he was probably like still ordering hits and stuff like that on people. So I don't know. But hey, we'll see what comes about, and we'll see if the fight his son is putting up is gonna make something shake. Who knows? Well, does anybody want to add anything about Hoover or Ti before we go to the next story about somebody else, honey, who's suing for defamation? I knew it was gonna happen. And who? I want y'all to take a guess who y'all think it is. Y'all probably already know. Smokey Robinson, honey. He is suing those ladies for defamation.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, girl. I just shared this link from BBC News. You see where it says Smokey Robinson files $500 million defamation case against the rape accusers. Ooh, child. So Motown legend Smokey Robinson has filed a $500 million defamation lawsuit against 4 former housekeepers who have accused the singer of sexual assault. The legal case filed by the star and his wife Frances on Wednesday in California accused the women of fabricating the sexual assault allegations as part of an extortionate lawsuit. The Robinsons say the alleged victims, who filed their case anonymously, went on family holidays with the couple and celebrated their holidays together. The singer, who is now also under criminal investigation in Los Angeles over the accusations of sexual assault, has denied all the allegations, and his lawyer said those behind the accusations were after his money. Mr. Robinson's lawyers also filed a motion to dismiss the woman's lawsuit, arguing they should have not been granted anonymity. Uh, the Robinsons did not abuse, harm, or take advantage of plaintiffs. They treated plaintiffs with the utmost kindness and generosity, the lawsuit states. The women filed the lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court on May 6th under the pseudonyms Jane Doe's 1 through 4. In the 27-page legal action, they alleged several incidents that they said dated back to 2006, and accused Mr. Robinson of pressuring them into sex. All 4 women, who are of Hispanic descent, said that they had not come forward until now because they feared losing their livelihoods, familial reprisal of embarrassment. Some were concerned the allegations could affect their immigration status. They are seeking at least $50 million in damages in a jury trial. The Los Angeles County Sheriff Department then opened its investigation, which the 85-year-old singer said at the time he welcomed because exposure to the truth is a powerful thing. Mr. Robinson was Motown's first hit maker, writing #1 records like Mary Wells' My Guy and Temptations' My Girl. He was both the talent scout for the record label and one of its most prominent recording artists in its own right, known for songs like Tracks of My Tears, Shop Around, and Tears of a Clown. He has spots in both the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and claims to have credits on more than 4,000 songs. But he and his wife are some. They said, "You want to sue for 50 million? Okay, well let's times that by 10, boo. We gonna sue your ass for 500 million."
He kind of scared.
Child.
Oh, they don't have that kind of money. He knows better.
Mm-hmm. And then my thing is, Miss Francis, Miss Robinson, girl, what you that did not give what you thought it gave. Oh well, they went on family holidays with us. They was around us all the time, so that means that they could. Now I'm probably thinking it more likely did happen because he had very easy access to them in y'all family holidays and shit like that. So he probably, I think it probably happened allegedly, like these girls said it did, like Jane 1 through 4 said it did. And remember, we went into detail with it. Like them girls trying to do their work. He cornering them, like pushing all up on them with his gerbil looking ass and them light color eyes, honey, kissing all of them and throwing them on the bed and so.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to frighten them.
Girl, remember I told you his burner page followed me on Twitter, honey. What the hell? Maybe he heard me talking about his ass on the last show or something. I don't know. But Smoker gone so well, honey. One, I'm not into light skinned men, so gone. Bye. And I'm not into rapists.
Definitely not into that.
So that's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything before we go to the next story? Moon, hey gorgeous. Well, the next story, y'all, Eddie Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter. Remember they were engaged?
Yes.
Child, they done went in and eloped, honey, and they ass has been married for about 2 weeks now. And you know who spilled the beans? Mm-hmm. Eddie Murphy. He spilled it right on Jennifer Hudson's talk show. So y'all see where I just posted from E Online, Eddie Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine. So his son, his name is Eric, and Martin's daughter name is Jasmine, and they're now married. So let me see. Says Eddie Murphy, who shares his son X with the Paulette McNeely, and Jasmine Lawrence, who Martin shares with Patricia Southall. They probably tied a knot nearly 2 weeks ago. Eddie Murphy revealed on May 29th. They went off. Everybody was making their big wedding plans, Eddie explained during his appearance on the Jennifer Hudson show. And then they decided they wanted to do something quiet with just the two of them. Eddie also joked that Martin does not have to pay for the wedding now. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. I won't go too much into the story, but that's pretty much it. He went on Jennifer Hudson's show and talked about them eloping, and he's happy for them, it seems.
I love that for them because, being the children of famous parents, there's going to be paparazzi down. And I love they have their own private ceremony. I think that's beautiful.
Yes, indeed. I agree. So go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Oh, that's my type of carrying on. I love it. Because when the dance lady got married, she didn't tell nobody for 2 years afterwards. I was like, you know what? You did that shit. I love it. I'm happy for them. They both look just like their fathers. It is crazy. It's like copy and paste. That's insane.
They do. Mm-hmm. Well, somebody tell Eric that I want a room at his daddy's house. Allegedly.
I'm gonna need you to sit down.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
So does that mean you want to have a bunk bed with Johnny Gill, allegedly, Auntie?
Absolutely, we could be sister wives. I'm totally okay with that.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Have mercy.
Well, you know who they not saying Lord have mercy to? Well, did y'all have anything to add on this before we go to the next story? Well, have y'all heard about Ed Gale? Ed Gale, who was in the Chucky movies, he played the Chucky, and he just passed away.
Yes.
Well, baby, they saying, they saying that they hope he rests in piss, honey. They say they hope he is burning in hell.
Oh Lord.
So I just shared this link from TMZ. Chucky actor Ed Gale was on probation, suffering serious health issues when he died. And when y'all find out what he was on probation for, y'all probably gonna say you hope he burns in hells also. Okay, so Child's Play star Ed Gale was suffering debilitating illnesses in the months leading up to his death, and he was on probation for solicitation of a minor. TMZ has learned. Gale, who landed the part of Chucky in a few of the Child's Play horror films, pled no contest to arranging a meeting with the minor for lewd purposes in March of 2024, according to court records. As part of his sentence, Gale was on probation and had to register as a sex offender and enroll in sex offender counseling classes. According to a letter in his life from a sex addiction therapist, Gale was attending sessions at a sexual offending behavior recovery program while his physical health was deteriorating. The letter said Gale was walking with a cane and suffering from pulmonary hypertension and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or known as COPD, which is an ongoing lung condition caused by damage to the lungs. The letter goes on to say in January of 2025, Gale was rushed by ambulance to a hospital in LA to treat the conditions, and his doctor refused to release him until he received a non invasive ventilator. But apparently, all the breathing machines were being used by victims of the LA wildfires at the time. TMZ broke the story. Gale died Tuesday at a hospice facility in Los Angeles at the age of 61, a source told TMZ. His niece, Casey Gale, celebrated his life in a Facebook post, calling Ed a fun uncle who has taken his final bow and now headlining in the afterlife. I guess he was a fun uncle, wasn't he? You know what? Whatever. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Afterlife in hell.
Wake it up, okay?
Yeah, we need to be more honest about these people who died. Like, oh, he was such a great man, or they were such a great person. Blah blah. Like, no, if they were a piece of shit, on Earth they'll be a piece of shit in hell when they go there. Like, let's keep it a bean. Seriously, just because they're not here anymore, most likely they're not able to perpetuate any of the other atrocities that they were subjecting other people to. So I love when people are really honest about that shit. Oh, well, they called me such and such, and they're like, well, to be honest, the reason part of the reason why you're even here today is because that person that we have to blame them as well. Um, anyway, but yeah, I love the honesty for real. But that's really disgusting, but it's also not surprising at all.
Yeah. And then what TMZ tried to do was like pretty much talk about his illnesses, I guess maybe to pull on our sympathy strings. I don't care. I'm glad his ass was hurt. You see, they're trying to meet up with a damn child for lewd purposes. Nasty fucker.
I find it also odd that they didn't use a mug shot or any other type of image outside of him smiling. It's a very interesting choice, don't you think, Auntie?
I do think that. But I also know that TMZ don't like to show people or white people in mug shots. So.
That's true. That's a trend.
Well, let's while we on the subject, let's talk about another somebody else who's into children. Josh Duggar, remember him?
Yes.
What, honey? So his ass is actually requesting a new attorney in court. While his ass is locked up. So I'm sharing this link from People. Y'all see where it says Josh Duggar requests new attorney to help overturn his child porn conviction as he claims he can't afford counsel anymore. Girl. Josh Duggar is hoping to pursue another attempt at overturning his conviction. On Tuesday, May 27th, the 37-year-old wrote a letter to the judge presiding over his case, requesting a court-appointed attorney. According to documents obtained by People, Duggar claimed he does not have enough money to pay a lawyer as he continues to fight against his 2022 conviction on charges of receipt and possession of child pornography. I am unable to afford counsel due to my current financial circumstances, he wrote. The filing went on to reveal that Duggar, who is currently serving over 12 years in federal prison, is seeking legal assistance to help evaluate whether there were constitutional violations in his case, and, if appropriate, prepare a motion to vacate, set aside, or correct my conviction and sentence. Duggar alleged that his trial involved complex constitutional and evidentiary issues, particularly relating to legal rulings and strategic decisions made during trial proceedings, and errors in the admission of forensic evidence. He further stated that he believes the prosecution fails to disclose the entirety of its evidence and cited the broad publicity of this case and intense scrutiny of the facts are reason for a full and fair post conviction review. As time has unfolded, new legal theories and strategies have emerged in public discourse that may be relevant to the defendant's case, the documents allege. In light of these developments, the defendant seeks to consult with counsel to fully evaluate the potential of these emerging strategies and how they may support a motion for relief. The news comes after Duggar, a married father of 7, who claimed he worked diligently to focus on education, personal growth, my faith, and to maintain strong family ties while incarcerated, filed an appeal in October 2023. After it was rejected, he took it to the Supreme Court, where it was once again denied a year later. A child predator has been brought to justice, said Homeland Security resident agent in charge Billy Riggins at the time of Duggar's conviction. The 19 kids and the 19 kids and counting alum has maintained his innocence ever since Homeland Security agents found child pornography downloaded onto a computer linked to Duggar at his business in 2019. The investigation found that he had developed a hidden system on his work computer to view explicit content of children, some under the age of 10, in which they were being sexually abused. It was also revealed that he allegedly molested sisters Jill Duggar and Jessica Duggar, Jill Duggar Dillard and Jessica Duggar Seawald. I guess they're married now. When he was between the ages of 12 and 15. Despite his defense arguing that there was no probability the former reality star was hacked or exploited, and the prosecution's case lacked evidence to prove otherwise, a jury ultimately found him guilty. I mean, what he think? You know what? You know what? I think he's trying to send out a dog whistle. He want Trump to get involved.
He was hacked. That's the weakest sauce ever.
Mm-hmm. This sounds like to me that his ass is like he on his free time he read one of them law books and he's like trying to use some words that he really don't understand the meaning of, but he still wrote that letter to the judge. And I hope that judge threw that shit. I hope it was a really dramatic, like just tear it up really slowly and just toss it up, just and then they just toss it to the side, like bye boy. Honey, anybody got and then what gets me, they prove that your ass tried to be secretive with it. You tried to develop software so that way you could look at content some of them had children as young as under 10 years old being sexually abused. Like, what the fuck? Keep his ass in there. And I hope no when it comes to court appointed attorneys, right, they really don't have a say in who they represent, right? They kind of just have to take the cases they're given. Can somebody confirm, or y'all not sure like me?
Know if they have any right to turn down a case. I really don't know, but I would hate to be his court appointed attorney. I know that.
Well, does anybody want to add anything about this asshole before we go to the next story? All right, well, I got 3 more stories left. So remember what we previously talked about Timmy Bansom and Bossman D-Lo, and how Timmy Bansom tried to expose Bossman D-Lo for actually being quote unquote D-Lo. Well, Timmy Bansom has actually come out to recant what he has said, or what they have said, because I don't know, I'm not really sure of Timmy's pronouns, so I don't want to misgender, so I'm just going to use they to be on the safe side. So I just shared this link from Hot New Hip Hop. Timmy Bansom admits to faking DMs with Bossman D-Lo. And I don't believe a single word of it, but we'll talk about why, because we're going to watch a quick video and then we'll go from there. Let me share my screen.
I'm coming on TikTok to address the Bossman situation. Bossman D-Lo never messaged me. It was AI. It was edited. It was photoshopped. I did everything good with the video of him texting me because my homegirl, it was my homegirl's phone. He messaged a real female. She's a popular influencer that I hang out with. So I made it seem like he messaged me, but he never really messaged me. And I made a fake thread of me texting myself back. I know it sounds crazy, and I just did all this stuff on the internet for attention, but a bitch was bored, and I thought it was funny. But now I know it's not funny because I'm really fucking with this man's career and his money. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all can bash me, y'all can hate me. I really don't give a fuck.
I'm sorry, but I don't give a fuck. Uh, you know what? This little bitch here didn't realize that it wasn't funny and that you would be playing with somebody's um, livelihood. No, I don't buy it.
Exactly. And I'm gonna show you another reason I don't buy it, honey, because when you look at the messages that they share, they have them here in this thread. Let me just kind of go here. So you see this text thread. Now this is not like he claimed that the text was sent to a girl, his girl who was also who was a friend of his who was also an influencer. What's your real name? I ain't give you mine, you ain't give me yours, and confusing how. So Justin is my real name. What the fuck girls you know named Justin? Please tell me. Will the real Justin please stand up? So then, and then look at his reply. Oh Lord, so you was that. That's shit definitely confusing. Boy, bye. So one or two things either happen. Either that check cleared, or either he got his ass beat, or either both. So go
Or
ahead, favorite Taurus.
threaten to sue. Go ahead.
Yeah, my head hurt reading that. I didn't know what a yeen was per se. Uh, but my first thought was like that threat was something serious. Allegedly, allegedly, if he has to come out and clear the air per se, and even that excuse was actually terrible. No, you
Mm-hmm.
made all that stuff up because you're bored. Oh, okay. So, in the event that this something like this happens again with somebody of some sort of visibility, they are now going to be in harm's way because if indeed you are bored, you're going to make us some fake shit about them, which is essentially defamation. Open the
Yep.
school. Open the schools immediately, please.
Yes, indeed, honey. Yeah, I really wasn't a So yeah, I don't got, and to be honest, Shield, because as somebody who has dealt with DL men before, I don't think there was no litigation involved. I'm telling you what happened. He was slapped around a bit and he was paid, allegedly.
Mm, okay.
Hmm.
You know more about it than I do, so I'm gonna
Allegedly, allegedly.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, okay. So the next to last story, honey. This is going. Y'all gonna be like, girl. So are y'all familiar with Hazel E from Love and Hip Hop
Yes.
Hollywood, that ugly girl?
God,
Nasal
yes.
heat.
Yep, nasally. Hmm.
Okay.
And I feel so sorry for her because usually, like, how is you? How can I make say this without sounding like colorist? Like, you're light skinned and you're still ugly. Like, oh, excuse me, you're a light skinned woman and you're still like it's really difficult for you. Like, I can imagine. Shout out to Masika. I know that's right. But anyway, Cardi B actually exposed her. Well, she actually exposed Cardi B's DMs rather. So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. You see where it says Cardi B explodes on Hazel E over wild allegations in leaks DMs. So Hazel pretty much does not like Cardi and has not liked Cardi for a long time. And she started saying that Cardi slept her way to the top, basically. Cardi was very offended. And she also said that she's because of her, black men get in trouble or something like that, talking about Offset and that Stephon Diggs guy. So I'm gonna share my screen. It's giving jealousy. That's exactly what it is, child. Quiet as it's kept. But I'm gonna share my screen. We're just gonna kind of look over the DMs together and read them together. So first of all, y'all see the caption. Wow, where do I start? Cardi B, you've been going back and forth for 3 hours. I'm tired. 304. Put the 2CB down and let's rock. I don't know what that is, but okay. But Carter says, keep my name out your fucking mouth. You constantly got my name in your mouth, and I never spoke on you and disrespected you. Name who I fucked for a track. I never felt no rapper nor music exec to be where I'm at, and the only man in the industry I fucked, I married. I got picked by Mona Scott herself, and just her name is Mona Scott Young, by the way. She makes that very clear. Um, to be on Love and Hip Hop, not my pussy. You a weirdo. Feel a certain way over a kid's birthday. You think I copied you, miserable ass bitch. The fact I asked surgeon to help you when you almost died in Turkey, I see why fuck shit happens to you. You evil and weird. You hate on people that you never met, and I never shit to you. I can't only imagine what you do to people close. And y'all see, I was reading it just how it was written, right? Okay.
I see that. Right. Ooh, open the schools, open the schools.
So I said Kaiser didn't have nothing to do with me in the beginning of my career. They didn't start coming around until after Bodak went #1. I got invited by Remy Ma herself, just like Young and May, who was friends with old girl. She didn't know nothing about either. Bitch, you sound like a fan. Boring. Just repeating everything you see online. You have all that and yet you still miserable. Hating on women who haven't did who haven't did nothing to you a day in your life. Like, please go on with yourself. This shit is dumb. And then she replies, I'm a fan and you are the downfall of yet another black man. And then she captioned this, I see why Nikki don't fuck with you. Now we get to the bottom of shit. Like she ate that, but whatever. And then Cardi ends it with, what downfall of another black man? My baby father has his own successful career, and my new nigga still in the league and finna have a great year. So who failing? And then you see what the Lulu, Cardi B, read the room, sis. Sidebar. Sad thing is she thinks she's talking about set. She thinks I'm talking about set. Oh, okay. Well, that's that on that. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
So this sounds like another Ian situation, like the last one.
Well, yes.
Oh Lord. I don't know. Like there's ever since Hazel was on Love and Hip Hop, there's always been a trend of her trying to attach herself to someone that she believes to be superior to her and trying to stand toe to toe with her with them in some capacity. First it was Masika, and now it's Cardi B. Like I can understand where she's coming from because of course Cardi B is who she is now, and Masika is now in Vegas, allegedly. So I can understand where that disappointment is kid coming from. At the same time, it's like I'm not sure what she's attempting to get out of the situation because nothing about Hazel has been relevant to the general population since she was on Love and Hip Hop. So I'm not sure if she's trying to get Mona Scott's attention again or what have you. I definitely think it's like a weak attempt, if anything, you know.
Mm-hmm. Once that bitch was agreeing with that homophobic man she was dating at the time who said gays was gonna burn in hell, honey, her ugly ass ain't got shit else to say to me. Fuck a Hazel E, Nasal E, or whatever. And bitch, pop my butt. You know what that meant to Harriet Tubman? It meant a whip.
Whip. Yes.
Well, does anybody want to add anything about that ugly girl before we go to the last story? Okay, y'all. Well, the last story I have, we're gonna talk about Money Long. So Money Long was actually doing a and it said it meant a whip, okay? Well, Money Long, she actually said, like during one of her lives, that she feels that black women don't like her personality. So we're gonna talk about that. So I just shared this link from Vibe that pretty much gives a nice summarization of it, but we're just gonna watch the video really quick. So let me share my screen. And it looks like she's out to eat with some friends or whatever. That Schwarzer photo is wild. It really is. They try her. So here we go.
Only ever black women that say they don't like my personality. You notice that? Because I'm being myself. I'm acting just like your raggedy mom and your aunties. With them ashy cankles. This is how they act. There's something wrong with my personality.
You don't like me.
Exactly. Take a look in the mirror, ho. You don't like you.
Who are you?
They be like, "Ooh, she's so what you want me to do?" What it is you're a bully and you use people there now, letting you do whatever. I'm not that. It's never gonna be that.
I'm not
Never.
her, and this ain't that.
Like, oh, she's saying she got a. Who are you? Why do I have to be nice to you? What did you do?
It's called being confident in who you are. And
Exactly. No, I see the comments, Kelly, but it's just amazing to me. I'm not even doing anything. I'm sitting here enjoying brunch with my friends, but I got attitude. My attitude is nasty.
Your attitude comes with the success. If you were not much around, I don't think we'll have a problem.
Man, because I'm cute.
And then when you're famous, you don't have the luxury of speaking up for yourself. Now that's crazy.
Okay, girl, you realize you lame. You still sitting here talking. Leave. I don't even got the energy to delete you out of the chat. How you say your name? Tuloro Bori Toyinke? Yes, ma'am. Here you go. Thank you so much. You're very welcome.
I just want to say she sounded like me trying to read that person's name. So, but yeah, what do y'all think? She
That's all I got to say.
Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And the reason being is I strongly dislike when black female celebrities of any talent level or capacity, they are subjected to an unnecessary level of like respectability and relatability politics once they acquire a certain level of success, which I absolutely cannot stand. Whereas black men aren't held to that same standard. There is nothing wrong with how that lady acts. Just because you can't connect to it doesn't mean that it's necessarily wrong. And I hate that black women of her status are constantly subjected to that and having to constantly defend themselves for simply showing up as themselves because it doesn't align with what certain areas of the general population believe a black woman should be, or should act. I absolutely hate it. I cannot stand it.
Yeah, and maybe I need to watch more of her lives or something, but everything I've seen, it doesn't look like she has like the kind of personality that turns people off. She usually just kind of writes her music, vibes, and does her thing, likes to be pretty. People say that she look like Patti LaBelle. But I but then again, I'm also not a black woman, so maybe there is a blind spot there that I don't see. But I get the frustration, but like I don't know, girl. I just didn't like the I remind you of your mamas and your aunties and the ashy ankles. I'm like, okay, girl, we ain't got to get anti-black now. Like, come on now.
Well, she's from Florida, so I mean, she gonna pop her shit. But to your point, Auntie, I understand where you're coming from it being a blind spot. I have a slightly different perspective to that as well. I definitely see in real time how folks tend to generally gravitate towards certain archetype of what they believe a black woman should be.
Yeah.
And even they get pushed back. I'm talking about like the Tabitha Browns of the world, the people that want to be the most positive, but then when they show signs of wealth or anything that doesn't assimilate to what they feel is comfortable to what they want them to be, it's a problem. You know, so
Yeah.
I definitely think it goes beyond like the black. Again, I'm not a black woman either. Just from what I see and how people gravitate towards black women in general, it's like, for lack of better words, it's still like this underlying lingering mammification of black women that people want to tack on to them, which I think is entirely unfair. You know, and it's definitely rooted in massage noir.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're looking at a microcosm of our society, right? There is a lot of people on this here internet who like to bring people down, talk about people. They can turn on you on a dime. People can love you one minute and then call you weird and crazy the next. I don't think we're seeing a large representation of how black women feel about her. And I think just addressing it like that, just they're ugly to you, you're ugly to them. I mean, what good does this serve, really? Yeah, you have a right to defend yourself, but this is not it. Not for me.
I know that's right. I love these. I love the different opinions. We see the chat. The downfall begins now. I mean, she isn't falling far, but still. Well, no, honey, her name ain't Money Long for no reason. That money really is long. And then we have a comment. I don't never see an attitude with her. Me neither. I never got like but I've seen a few of her interviews and stuff. I never got attitude from
Me
her.
either. This is the first time I've ever heard of any kind of, negative attention towards her. And that's why I'm like, is this really warranted? Why would you give some random this kind of energy? I mean, that's kind of how I feel. People can control your mind, your responses. They're changing your energy, and I don't like that.
Yeah. I remember Tinashe, she actually said something similar a few years back, and I think that's like probably why a lot of black women still don't rock with her today, because she said that she felt that she did not feel supported by fellow black women. Well, something I'm paraphrasing, of course, but something around those lines. But then when I seen the actual comments about her, it didn't look like support. So I'm like, maybe there's something there. They better leave
But
their woman alone, okay? Because you know they're serial killers, allegedly, allegedly.
just remain unbothered. Leave these haters. Leave these haters to themselves. Don't be bothered by it. Just be yourself, because they're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless of what you say. Like this isn't gonna change anything. Go ahead, Will.
I see what you're saying, Show. At the same time, I definitely believe that everyone has a breaking point, a threshold at some point. So naturally, folks are going to want to defend themselves. On top of that, we don't necessarily know her full experience as someone who works in the music/entertainment industry, and some of the perils that she's had to face as a black woman that kind of led into this particular reaction. So I'm actually really glad that she speaks out about it as much as she does and has, because people need to really learn, don't fuck with me, like don't fuck with me, essentially. And I hope she continues to do so until people take heed and they leave her alone.
There's probably difference in personalities too. We're all different people. How we view things.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, Money Long, if you listening, girl, I am available to be your social media manager, and I will read each and every last one of these bitches backwards and forwards if you let me. Let me know if you want cursing or not, because I'll monitor that. But girl, I got you, girl. I'm here. Email us at auntie@auntiederek.com.
Ain't no lie, money.
Oh, or
Got a reader over here.
you go to Twitter at Derek is normal, and just for the last 72 hours, that's all the information you need to hire Auntie.
Right. There's your interview right there.
That's
And
all.
it looked like it's died down a little bit, but there's still some people coming over there, so y'all might see a little bit more because they're not gonna keep trying me. They're not gonna keep, especially on something that I know about.
You're passionate about.
Especially.
Yeah,
And I'm
because
passionate about.
yeah, you know it for a fact, and I don't blame you. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here, but I don't blame you one bit for reading these. I was about to say something not very nice. Reading these people for their problematic trash ass takes that are rooted in ignorance and all the other stuff. So whack them again, whack them for me.
You see your
Will
friend,
do.
your friend in the chat there.
Warn her about keeping her man away from you, bitch.
Oh my god.
Ignore that
Bitch.
part, money. No, don't pay no attention to that.
How dare you, honey? Oh, have you seen her man, honey? He is too young for me. She ain't got nothing to worry about. Now, her daddy, on the other hand, let me stop. Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out, did anybody have any tea that they want to share or any tea I might have missed? Oh, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I have one today in my best auntie segue. Speaking of misunderstood black women, my
Yeah.
story today is regarding Please work, please work, please work. It works. Yay. Leandria Johnson. And so Isaac McCree, for those who do not know, he is a gospel artist. What he sings, I don't know. I don't pay attention to him. Anyway, so Leandria, of course, as we know, she's been in the news for alleged alcoholism. I say alleged because I want to be fair. But anyway, she's doing a podcast. She's going to do an episode on Isaac's podcast. It's going to be airing tomorrow. And one of the questions that he should ask her is like, "Are you an alcoholic?" Which we all know the answer to that. But I just find it very disappointing that they're continuing to exploit this woman when they know that there is an actual issue here. So I just hope that something good comes of this interview. Like she actually gets the support that she actually needs, as opposed to her being a talking point or being pigeonholed as a pariah of the Christian community, if you will. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So I believe there's a link in the Instagram post that I posted in the whatever this is called. So yeah, feel free to look at the preview they have, and also I believe there's going to be a link as well to the actual podcast interview.
I will indeed. Now, so this is a clip right to what you shared. I can go ahead and this looks like a clip. I can share my screen and we can look at it together really fast.
Oh, let's do it.
Yes. And to the listeners, it's called the Jumbotron.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
Let me see if I can let me refresh this so we can watch it from the beginning. And let me take this
week on the Isaac Curry Show. Do you have a drinking problem? A problem is it ain't the world that's killing you. It's church people.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that because I got some names.
Well, let's go.
That's all I knew at the time. That's what they taught me. So I'm only giving you what they taught me, and it broke me. So I can't be mad at my dad only now.
Gotcha.
I'm mad at his forefathers. I want to go to the gravesite and be like, what did you do to him? Why did you do that to him? Because I'm suffering because of what you did to him. And I don't want to come to your church.
But they can't afford you.
I don't want to come to
They
your
can't afford
church.
you.
Your church is full of death. If they're in there and you the leader and they following you, they're dead.
Jesus.
But anyway.
Girl, you better. Can y'all hear me clapping? We need more people like Leandria. I'm not going to your church. Your leader is messed up, and if the leader is messed up, then y'all dead up in here. I loved it. She's right, and she needs to say it. And they have, ever since she was on Sunday Best, they have done Leandria dirty. The way the church community talks about her is insane. And then somebody even had nerve to say that they don't like her voice. They don't think she can sing all that good. Okay, so now you're just lying in the name of Jesus. Wow, that is wild to me.
She ate that.
And then thank you for that. Well, go ahead, favorite tourist.
Of course, well, I figured that the listeners and you all would enjoy that clip. One thing that is really sad and disappointing, I draw a lot of parallels between Leandria and Fantasia just because of how they came into the music industry. So it's never lost on me how this could have easily been Fantasia if she decided to go the church route so soon.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And it's very disappointing that Leandria is still at the shooting, the firing squad, because of her expressing her humanity in that way. When in reality, if folks really wanted to get into people's skeletons of people in high profile that are operating within the actual church, they would literally not survive it. We have some of the most nastiest gutter butt ass people positioning themselves as leaders and abusing their power on a daily basis in the name of Jesus or whatever it is that they believe in, which is so sad and disappointing. So, yeah.
Yes, thank you again for that. And you know what? I'm gonna go stream some of Leandria's music once we're done here. But did anybody else have any other tea they want to share? Okay, y'all. Well, it is always a joy. Thank y'all for coming by to sip tea with me. Take a time out of your busy day to do so. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time if you can make the live show. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye, everybody.